Don, we have a Daimler Double Six, and it's in your shop here for a little bit of service.
Right.
And this is a really surprising car when you look at the numbers.
Right.
It has huge wheels, first of all. That's what really strikes me.
23-inch.
23-inch wheels. Why would a car like this have such big wheels?
It was a statement of the time. This was one of the largest chassis that was ever built in Europe.
Is a wheel of that size functional on a car like this? Does it have an advantage?
Well, it's got a nice ride. It is a little more like a truck than a car because of the size of it, but it handles really quite well, surprisingly. Yeah.
And why did they call it a Daimler Double Six?
The Double Six refers to the V12. It's a pair of six-cylinder engines, really, built on a common aluminum crankcase. Earlier than this car, there was six-cylinder Daimlers, very popular engine. They were sleeve valve engines, and what they did with this design was take two of those, make it into a 12, and call it a Double Six.
This is one cylinder here. It has two sleeves that run inside the cylinder casting, and then inside the inner sleeve the piston will run up and down. And so instead of standard overhead valves, it uses these ports that will become exposed as the sleeves come into alignment.
So really each side has its own fuel system, ignition system, water cooling system, totally independent.
It's like having two engines in the car.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So where do you find the specs on a car like this to rebuild it?
We did a lot of research on that. There is very little out there. There's a lot of reverse engineering going on. So in many instances when we had to come up with a missing part, we really had to engineer it, produce it, test it, and fit it. So it worked out well.
Well, when we were here originally looking at the car, I think anyone would be surprised to see what you have done with it, because a lot of it actually had to be fabricated from nothing.
Yeah, well, pretty much the entire interior was missing. I mean, wrong. It was incorrect. So we had to replicate the seat frames and things like that. And the sides of the hood were incorrect, modified too much over the years, had to be put back to an original piece. So we fabricated the hood sides. So the pieces like that had to be made, but I had to handle it all here. You can't buy those parts.
And this car won Best of Show at Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
What does it take to do that? I mean, it has to be perfect.
Yeah, it takes a great car, first of all. That's the key thing, a great project. And this is a one-of-a-kind, outstanding design car. Then it takes a team of guys that we're lucky to have here. The guys that built this car, right from the fabrication where we were missing some body parts, we had to make some sills on the bottom and things like that. Then right straight through to upholstery, paint. Every aspect of the car is covered here. And it takes a team of guys to do that in a short time. We did this car in 16 months.
Best in the world right here.
It's an awesome piece. It's probably the toughest but most rewarding car we've ever done here.
Well, it's a source of pride for you guys and a source of pride nationally for Canada. So thank you so much for sharing it with us today.
Pleasure.